And we're back from the break. It's the Real AF TV podcast, a show about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. Tim?
Yeah.
What do you think? We got our first guest, buddy.
I'm super excited.
Hults is here. Comedian. Sioux Falls funniest man. What?
Yeah, you're the first, dude.
Oh, I'm the first guest?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. So let me do your sweet, sweet intro that I've been working up for 2 weeks. Comedian extraordinaire, stand-up comedian, Sioux Falls funniest man, 2016, Snow Jam comedian. No, so and I screwed it up. Enter South Dakota's. Wait, here.
Let's start over.
We have on the show, and I'm keeping this all in just so you know, in case you guys are curious, this is all staying in the podcast. So we go live to tape. We're just keeping it in. Today, we have Sioux Falls funniest man, stand-up comedian, stand-up guy, podcaster, and dad, of course. We're all dads here. So
we are.
We brought him on because he's just a funny guy, and we want to be more funny. I don't know if that's not why you brought you on. We are genuinely interested in what's going on in your life. Nathan Hults, what's going on?
I told my wife I was doing a podcast tonight, and she's like, "Oh, what's the podcast about?" I was like, "Fishing." She's like, "They wanted you?"
They wanted you.
Yeah, so that's how we start this out with all our guests, especially in the random take when we're here to talk about comedy in general. We just go, so how much you been fishing lately?
Yeah.
I haven't fished since I was since you had to get a license to do it.
Wow, so 16.
Which is 16 years old.
I've been alive longer, twice as long as the last time I've been fishing.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good time fishing growing up though, because like my uncle was like, "Shh, you scare the fish," and it was like last year I was like, "I don't think fish have ears.
Yeah.
I don't think they can hear you. I don't think fish can hear you. You just wanted me to shut up."
Yeah.
You just wanted me to shut up.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure fish don't have ears.
I do to my nephew. Just, dude, the fish are gonna hear you for sure.
Yeah, you just hear the fish. I'm like, oh my god, that's so terrible.
Yeah.
We got to sit for another hour. This is bullshit.
Proof that we've moved into dad zone already there, Tim, that you're just like you're passing that on. You're that uncle now.
Well, I have to be, dude. They get like, I don't know how old you were, Nathan, when you were out there fishing, but you're sitting there and you're trying to fish and they're just like, hey, well, that guy that plays that guy that has the Pokemon, that plays the Pokemon Go, did he know the things or whatever? And you're just like, the fish can hear you, dude. Just chill.
You gotta chill, buddy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pokemon, Nate, you said that you picked Bulbasaur at the beginning of Pokemon on your podcast that you have with John. Sorry, what's John's last name?
John Michaels.
John Michaels, the Town Crier podcast.
He's like Sean, but John Michaels. He's a recovering gay Republican, not from being gay, but from being Republican.
It could have went either way. They're just like, he's one of those Republicans that they sent to the straight camp. He's recovering.
He's an old comedy pal that we have a lot in common, but we also argue about everything. So and then we just talk about what we cry about. Like, we both love to cry. I think crying's amazing. Like, oh my god, give me a Progressive commercial any day. State Farm, forget about it. Oh, but also like Disney movies and stuff. But also like, just things in our day, like last week, I my daughter said something nice and I was like, just, heavy cry. So we talk about that. And then we also talk about what made us smile.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah, it's a
town
very
crier podcast.
Yes.
We're a big
right. Yes. I love your concept. And I caught it the other week, and you said that you are a Bulbasaur. You pick Bulbasaur in Pokemon when
I did. All my friends were
Nobody
Charmander.
picks Bulbasaur.
Everyone was a Charmander in Glencoe anyway,
Oh,
right? Everybody was playing red. I'd get blue just because, like, you had a little different switch, and I just wanted to be
yeah.
the utility player in my Pokemon friend group. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
you need a Bulbasaur? Guess what? I got
Yeah, I
trained
got
up.
it.
Here we go. I got you, guy. I'll start over.
I'll start over.
Oh, you need a Pidgeot? Motherfucker, I got you. I got you. I got 6 Pidgeot. Because Frank wants one too. I was just trying to train them all with different abilities. I got you, baby. You want to put it on your Pokemon on your printer? Remember your Game Boy printer? Let's print it off. Yeah, let's do this.
Deep cut, dude.
Do you have the cable that costs $80? Do you remember the $80 USB cable?
Why was the
Or
cable more
USB?
than the game itself? That's crazy. So, yeah, I just want to kind of talk about what's that?
What did you pick?
Oh, dude, you guys got me. You got my balls in a vice grip here. I don't play Pokemon except for Pokemon Go. My wife and Tim get along way better on that. So I'm in line with the Pokemon game. I don't play though.
Yeah, I've been playing from day one, and I've always been a fire starter. Like, doesn't matter which game it is, I go fire.
Fucking Prodigy over here.
I was gonna say electric fire. Sorry, you got me. Yeah,
Fire. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Unless it was yellow. Pokemon Yellow, you had to do Pikachu or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I went back and played Yellow later when there was like an emulator. Like, you could just put a Game Boy emulator on your phone. All right. And then it's really hard to go back and play it after you played the newer ones where you get like bicycles and you can move fast and stuff. You go back to the old one and you move so damn slow.
How did I have this much time?
Right, exactly. You're just like, I have to go from which town to what town? This is gonna you just stop playing. You just stop playing right there. I just do not have time to walk in this.
No, I'm not going to Meridian City. Whatever you.
No, right. I'm setting up shop where I'm at now, and this is as far as we go.
Yeah.
Can I just become a gym trainer in this game?
Right. Make my own gym. It'll just be the Bridge Gym, Tent City. I'll set it up under the bridge.
That's it. Anyways, let's. I'm gonna bring it back now. You were down here in my neck of the woods last weekend, right, Nathan?
Yeah,
to the Mall of America. That's not too far from me. You were at Rick Bronson's, right?
Rick Bronson's House of Comedy for the World Series of Comedy competition.
Nice,
dude. That is awesome. So,
it was a lot of fun. That contest is a sham because I didn't win.
Yeah, because you didn't win.
It's rigged.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously I'm the best, and I didn't even move on. So like, it's obviously rigged.
Yeah. It's just,
and it doesn't help that I went overtime. So I got couple
Did you get
points
flashed a couple times or what?
Yeah.
How much overtime?
Yeah,
how much do they give you?
You get on that. You got 8, and I think I hit 9.
Oh, so they're pretty picky on that, huh?
Well, So comedy is kind of weird. Like, there's a lot of psychology around comedy, and like the rules that you can break, but you have to break them in a certain way. One of the rules is a 90-minute show. Anytime a show is 90 minutes, hour and a half, you're losing the audience. We as humans have about a 90-minute consciousness, right? Think about every movie that's longer than 90 minutes.
Right.
Yep.
Like, they all like, oh, it's a long movie. Like, it's only 10 minutes longer than this movie, but but it's still.
You give up on it before you even start it.
Yeah. You look at that runtime on Netflix, you're like,
Yeah.
hour and a half, cool.
Right.
Yep.
45 minutes over that, fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah.
I got shit to do. I'm
Right.
not gonna watch this and look at my phone for that long.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been doing that with that Irishman movie. Is that what it was? Irishman? The Irishman?
Yep, on Netflix.
I just
Yeah,
keep
the
looking
new,
at it like they cast everything about it. I want to watch this movie. And then every time I see it's like 3 hours and I just go, shit. I just can't.
Yep.
I can't do this.
I've been watching stuff in shifts now.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'll just watch stuff on my lunch break. And like so it's like half hour, 40 minutes. I'll just watch something. All right, time to go and get back into it.
Yep.
like the actual like something like 3 hours long, you just break it up into like
I
30-minute
just watch-
chunks.
Yeah, stream it. It picks up where you left off, so it's not like
Right.
I'm carrying a DVD around. So it's like I'll just watch this portion and like, okay, that's enough.
That's a really good point. So I want to talk about the. I'm going to bring us back again here. I want to talk about the rules and the psychology and stuff about comedy, because
Okay.
you had a club for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I sold
You
the
still
club.
one?
I sold Boss's Comedy Club in August. So I
really?
started it 3 years ago. October? Yeah, 3 years October. It'll be 3 years in October. 4 years in October.
Okay.
I don't remember. Time is relative.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sold it in August. So they just wanted to spend more time with my daughter, and they were moving to a new location. I wasn't super thrilled about the time commitment that location would require. And so we were just kind of going different ways.
Sure.
So I wanted to, and I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible at it. I am not a businessman. I am a real bad businessman. like even when I was a kid, like my parents, we'd do like a lemonade stand. I'd do like a lemonade stand, and my parents would give me like starter cash to like make change. And then at the end of that, I would just give that to all my friends because it looked like we made money. You know, we sold like 3 lemonades and they're walking out with like $6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a bad businessman. Always have been.
I was hoping you weren't going to say comedian, because I was just like, wait, what? Aren't you still doing that?
I'm very good at comedy. I'm very good.
How did you even start into that? Like, how did you end up getting into that? Just seeing, how do you start stand-up? How did you start stand-up comedy specifically? I guess?
Mine's a little weird for most people. I went to college at Augustana College in Sioux Falls. That's what took me away from the wonderful township of Glencoe, Minnesota, and
which is where we all met, by the way. We
yeah.
all loosely.
Are you
kind of-
not there,
we know
Tim,
each
anymore?
other.
Where are you, Tim?
I live in St. Cloud.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, close enough.
It's I mean, in that part of the world, like Hutchinson, Minnesota, and Glencoe and Biskie and all, they're just all one town. Like you exist,
one
you
big area.
coexist in the same. You know, are you still in LaBaw? Are you still in Glencoe?
No, I'm out in Chaska now.
Chaska,
Chaska.
fancy.
Chaska.
Oh man. Go to that community center. Go down that water.
Love the community center, dude. We're probably taking my daughter there this weekend, and I am so jazzed to take her swimming. I'm just so.
Is that
we'll
the
get
first
into dad
time?
talk later. Sorry.
No,
we've been swimming already a few
Okay.
times, so yeah, we can have dad talk later.
I'm sorry. I keep derailing this.
I'm genuinely interested too. I'm not just trying to like make a show here. I'm dead serious.
When I went to college, I was doing improv comedy because in high school I did called Just Say No Improv, where basically we went to like other schools, like the middle school, and did like skits about how you shouldn't bully and don't do drugs and all that kind of stuff. Right. And it's like it's a brand of improv where you don't really improvise, you just improvise the words, but the story's all laid out.
I did the same shit except for no words. Yeah. It was so dumb. We did the opposite, where everybody's like, he's throwing a football now. And then he's like, just like, it was so dumb. Nobody knew what we were doing.
Yeah, it was a weird club. And so I was like, oh, I can do that in college because I was, good at that. So I did that in college. And then I took a year off to go to rehab. And then
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. That
No,
I
it's
mean,
funny. I said it
you
funnily.
laughed.
Yeah. I made it. I said words funny. I did. I call it my sabbatical.
Mm.
So then I went back to college and did another year, and all my friends who stayed in college were graduating
We're
because that's
gone.
what happens is the world continues after you leave, a place.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And so
Sure.
I came back. So all my friends who I improvised with all this time were leaving, and I had no one to like. I didn't want to start over with like these new kids, who are probably great, but I just
You're right.
didn't feel like. So I was like, I got to figure out how to do this by myself. And so I did an independent study. I got college credit to learn stand up. And basically, I got
way.
college credit to just like watch George Carlin and like stand up clips.
No shit.
Like it was homework to watch Comedy Central Presents.
Nice.
Like,
No way.
That's
dude.
dope.
That's awesome.
I would have
And then
taken
I
that
watched-
class.
and so what you have to do is you have to create your own itinerary, or like what is it called? The thing that
syllabus.
syllabus. You have to create your own syllabus, get it approved by a thing. So we had to come up
Right.
with some goals for the class, and the goal was not knowing anything about stand up. I mean, I had watched it always, but like not knowing anything. I was like, all right, I think I can do 20 minutes at the end of this semester.
That's a lot.
So that's
Whoa,
a
that seems
lot
like a
of time.
huge
Yeah.
set, dude.
That's a lot of time. And so I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I consumed, and then I would go in front of the professor. It would just be me and this, very nice but 65-year-old woman who I know very well, who I used to like babysit her cats. I would just tell her my jokes, and she would like direct me. She'd be like, "That's not very good," or like, "Do you think you have to say fuck here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck is integral."
Yeah. It's important.
So she kind of like directed me. And then our improv group, we also did a study, like an independent study for that, like an advanced improv group, and we did like a final for that, and I opened for that group. And so our final show, I opened as my first show, and we had sold out the theater at college. So 322 seats. There was not a seat
Nice.
left in the house at 11 p.m. Like I think we did like during finals time, we did like 11 p.m. show. And so I just go up and do stand up for 20. I think it came out to be 18 and a half minutes.
Wow.
In front of 322 people my first time.
Jeez. We've only been talking for 18 minutes basically on the recording.
That is a lot.
This is 3 people, dude, and that was your opening night, an 18-minute set. Jeez.
That might be some sort of a record, man. I haven't heard of anybody doing 18 minutes their first time.
Sinbad did an hour and a half his first time.
What?
Yeah, Sinbad's crazy. If you ever listen to Sinbad tell stories, Sinbad is a crazy motherfucker. Like he is a wild human being. But Sinbad claims he did an hour and a half his first time. That's
insane.
I mean, was that even?
I feel like we got like the three of us have like good banter. Like we could talk, we could drag this podcast on for probably 2 hours and it would be something people would probably listen to. And I mean, we haven't even, sat down and talked like this forever or ever. But the point that I'm trying to get to is that's 3 people. This is a conversation. Stand-up set is not a conversation, right?
It's a back and forth.
It is.
Well, yeah, the feedback you get
is a one-sided conversation, right? And a good stand-up will make you feel like you're part of that conversation.
For sure. Yep.
Right? Like the biggest thing, the best thing like you can do after, like if someone was like think about all the comedians you recently watched. Like, I want to hang out with that dude. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to hang out with that dude. And that's because you guys just connected, right? The only difference is he connected with all of you, and you felt that connection, that human connection with just one person.
One person. Sure.
You know what I mean? So that it's a one-sided conversation. That's all it is. You just
Right.
listen to a blowhard talk for an hour, and you know what I mean? Like you
Right.
like what he had to say. So that's all that is. Um, yeah.
Is that something that you pick up on as you're going, or like did you know this going into it? And I mean, as you're going, like you have this class, you have
Well, it wasn't a class. It's
your
independent
18-minute.
study. So like
Say again?
it's just me like reading a couple books on like how to comedy, but mainly like watching people and writing down what they're doing. Just
Yeah.
literally just studying. But yeah, you learn, you pick up on that. I've been doing this a long time, and comedians love to talk about comedy. If you want, if you
Perfect.
want,
That's what we got you on here for.
there's there's about there's about there's 9 million podcasts with
Right.
comics just saying, this is this and this is that. We can all we all love the pontification, right? We all have our own theories and our own stuff like that. But uh,
For sure.
that's, I don't know, like you just kind of pick it up as you go. That's the thing about starting comedy. Like everyone always asks, what do you got to do to start doing comedy? And I don't, it's not the sexy answer. It is go do it.
Go. Yeah.
There's you can soak up as much information as you want when you get started, but the difference between a funny person and a comedian is a person who gets on stage and has a notebook.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
That's a
Sure.
really good point.
Yeah.
You say something funny, write that fucker down, and then and then go say it again.
Go crowd work it.
Yeah,
Crowd work's a different thing. That was a bad word for this particular
yeah,
situation.
go get it up on its feet is a good way to say that.
Okay.
But like, it's there is nothing you can do to prepare yourself more than just being in front of people and holding a room.
Yeah.
Sure.
We can
We're-
talk about all the other things you can do to get better. The best thing you can do is get on stage.
Just go on stage.
And if you're thinking about doing it, no one's like 20 years into this and be like, I'm glad I waited that extra 6 months.
Right.
Very good point.
No one's like, man, I'm glad I waited that week. I didn't want to start that week anyway.
Right.
Like no one, just go do it. And honestly, if you're thinking about doing it, which I'm getting the feeling you're thinking about it, Josh.
No, not me.
No, Tim.
No,
I've thought about it multiple times, but I'm so like I have anxiety issues the way it is, and getting up on stage is so goddamn scary sounding. Like I gave the best man speech at Josh's wedding, and I missed my only joke. I had one written down and I didn't tell it, and I'm like, and then after it, because I told a couple of people, I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, yeah, dude, that's funny, go with it. And then afterwards they're like, where was the joke? I didn't even realize I didn't tell it. I'm just like, oh shit, no, I didn't even say it, did I?
That gets better. I don't know.
Like me and Tim have always had sort of like a banter group, I guess, and me and him, I felt like we're always kind of like the head of that, which is kind of how we ended up started podcasting, right? And you said you improv'd. So when you were younger, like in high school and stuff, Nate, did you like, was there a lot of banter? Like, did you have a group of people you just bantered with, or was that in college, or did banter even happen? I guess I'm imposing that.
Yeah, we didn't know it was banter, but yeah, I mean, I remember hanging out with you guys and shooting the shit. You know what I mean? Like holding court. There was always something you just wanted to make your friends laugh.
For sure.
Right? You just say ridiculous shit.
Yep.
I'm not proud of some of the stuff I said when we were bantering, but
behind closed doors is a different story.
Yeah, for sure.
Still learning what's funny and what's not funny, but no, I think that's exact. I mean, there's not a person that I can think of in stand-up comedy that wasn't trying to be the funny guy in the friend group anyway. And that's actually what the comedians go for. Like there's this big thing of pride when you make the whole group of comics laugh, because they sit in a different area and they laugh very differently, right?
Sure.
So we tell some comics, like some of the newer guys, like, hey, right now you're going to the back of the room, right? And those people didn't pay. like let's just bring the jokes just a little bit more forward. Like, 'cause if you're playing jokes to the back of the room only, you're gonna get a lot of love from your friends, but they're not gonna put on the paid shows because you're not doing well to the audience.
Right.
Because
That's
the other
the
thing.
sort of insider stuff that I was like, because I don't want you to think that I like invited you on here to say like, hey, how can me and Tim get into stand up? No, I didn't. That's not what I wanted the impression. I seriously wanted to hear your backstory, but like that sort of insider stuff, because you said you had the club and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's the kind of stuff I just love to hear, because I watched, did you guys watch Bo Burnham's Inside?
Yeah.
So like, I watched that, and it has none of what we just talked about, because he's literally locked himself in a room because we're in a global pandemic, and he made a comedy special. He took all of the production into his hands and made it. None of the crowd work. And I was just like, wow, that is so different, because everything I know about comedy is the feedback, right?
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, in no way am I undercutting this comedy special, right?
Sure.
In no way am I trying to do that, right? But do you remember Bo Burnham? Like how we met Bo Burnham?
Yeah, he was a stand-up comedian, and then he'd go play the piano, right?
No, he was a YouTube star. He was the first YouTube star to become a comedian.
Oh,
really?
What?
I don't remember the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, he became famous doing YouTube videos in his bedroom. He makes references to it, right? Here I am alone inside my house again, right? He talks about that.
What?
Yeah. So that's how Bo Burnham started. And then what happened was he turned 18, and he was starting to be able to go out to the clubs as an adult, right? And so clubs started booking him because he had all these funny, silly songs. And then what he would do is he just spent a lot of time doing that, traveling the road, honing that. And he became an amazing stage performer, along with a very technical stage performer. His live shows are a spectacle. They're very theatrical, right? He's always had a big lighting presence. He's always had a lot of like digital jokes, because that's how he wrote. That's how he came up. He had edits to make funny. Right?
Yep.
That's why he's such a good director. Did you see 8th Grade?
No.
Mm-mm.
I
heard about it. I heard that he directed a movie, and he
directed a movie, and it is phenomenal. Like it's a powerhouse acting. It's not very funny, but there's a few moments of comic relief, but like it's about like a girl trying to navigate social media in 8th grade.
Okay. I never even heard of it. I'll have to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's called 8th Grade.
Okay.
But
so like that up.
So him doing this, there's not a lot of other comics that could have pulled that up. But like, to me, it was a great special, but it wasn't that impressive because it's not outside of his realm of what we know of Bo Burnham.
Sure. Yeah. To me, I just look at it like you gotta look at it as it being a comedy special. It's not stand-up. It's just there's some humor over his very good ideas of how to shoot stuff. And just like I found humor in just even the lights that he used. Like just to laugh at it, like I never would have thought to light up,
to put that emoji in a projector.
I never would have thought to light the disco ball with your headlamp. just shit like that is just like That's good.
Yeah.
That's smart. But
He's very brilliant, and then lighting's always been a big thing for him, even like in the
Mhm.
YouTube stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
So like
Mhm.
that's it's just not out of his wheelhouse is
Right.
thing. But when you look at, he's one of the only ones to do it really, really well. Maria Bamford did a special in her living room in front of her parents, who are
Oh,
not
really?
fans.
I didn't see that
who
one.
are not
How's that?
fans.
They're nice. They're Midwestern old people
That makes
listening to Maria Bamford.
that makes me want to watch it even more just to
Yeah, yeah. Harlan Williams. Do you know who Harlan Williams is?
Yeah, we
The
talked
guy who
about
like
him on the
Rocky
pod
Man?
a couple times because he produces the Puppy Dog Pals. My son loves his show now.
Is that on Disney Plus with the
Yeah,
two pugs?
it's on Disney Plus and it's on Hulu. But yeah, the
It's
Harlan,
two pugs that like go on missions to
yep,
save.
yeah, Bingo
That
and
was
Rolly.
his
They're a
one.
couple of puppies. They bark and chase and chew. So
My daughter's been watching it and I hate it. I keep like, can we just get the Kung Fu Panda? Something.
Yeah,
Just wanna see a
Bob.
panda eat and fight stuff.
If she puts it on again, Bob is Harlan Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sure of it. I was pretty sure. And then also the tourist guy, like the neighbor, the man of color in the
Oh
show,
yeah.
is Kenneth from Speechless, which was a very, very great show.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway,
No,
what was the question?
yeah, I forgot what
Oh,
we were talking
no,
about.
we were talking about specials that came out during
Harlan
the
Williams,
pandemic and stuff.
Harlan
Harlan,
Williams,
yep.
before pandemic, literally did a comedy special, like a HBO funded when that was a big deal,
Mm.
where he just went out into the desert with just a camera and a microphone. So he's
What?
literally out in like hiked in the desert,
What?
and he's just out there with a couple cameras, and he's just doing Harlan Williams comedy in front of no one.
What? This was before. He didn't do this during COVID.
No. This is 8-9 years ago.
What? What, dude? I have
Like,
never
this is
seen
when I
that before.
started doing comedy. It was like, 10, 11 years ago. 10.
I'm writing.
Oh my
I'm
God.
writing these down because I gotta watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Netflix owned all comedy. Well, that was 8-9 years ago, so that's different, I guess. But
Yeah,
like,
no, this is like, and maybe it was a Netflix. Maybe it was one of the first Netflix ones. I remember being pretty available to watch. But yeah, it wasn't. I couldn't
wow.
watch the whole thing, but so like it's
Is
not
it
absurd.
difficult? Is it difficult to watch because no one's laughing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Harlan is a weird dude. Anyways, he's got a real odd delivery.
Yeah. Yep. No, you're fine. So here's one thing, Tim, is I feel like I'm asking all the questions or like stepping all over whatever. I feel like I'm the one kind of taking control of this session, and I shouldn't. Tim, you said that you had questions. You're like, hey, we're gonna get. I was like, Nathan said he's gonna come on. I'm gonna like get that set up. So was there anything you wanted to ask him? Because I feel like I'm just taking over here.
I mean, I had some questions like when I was listening to your podcast and stuff, and then I forget things. And like your whole your whole piece of advice, like get a notebook and write everything down. I try to write stuff down because my memory is horseshit. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget everything. But
I did.
one thing that I have been noticing a lot, because like if I ever did do stand up, I'm like, my son is definitely giving me more material. Are you finding that with your daughter now? I mean, how old is your daughter?
She's 2.5.
So she's starting to talk and be funny. I got.
Oh, she's way past starting. She is mastered the language of English. She just walks around sassy. Not funny, Dad. Not funny. No. Nope, not funny. she is a little whippersnapper. That's for freaking sure. I have a hard time with that. I don't post like pictures on social media with my daughter,
Sure.
Mhm.
which is so hard. I don't know if you've ever like just tried to not post stuff about the most wonderful thing in your life. You
Right.
know, like
Yes.
I don't know
yes,
if you've
yes.
ever just had like a restraint, but I'm friends with comedy and networking. I have to be friends with everybody. Like I
Right.
Sure.
have to, unless it's a bot, I have to click accept because that
Sure.
person could be the key to 10 people coming to my show in Arizona, right? Or that person could set me up with not only what they could do for me, but what I can do for them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
it's a very small network, and if you know people that a lot of times if they're friending you, it's like, hey, I'm at the point where a lot of people are asking me to come do their shows, which is a really great feeling.
Nice.
And like a good spot to be in. So like I have to do that. With that means I also don't get like I only have a public life. You know what I mean? Like my
Yeah.
private life has to stay offline.
Sure.
Otherwise, because my brother, you guys know I have a brother, he's 12 years older than I am, and he had a blog for a little while about just him and his kids and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to check it one time and it was gone. And I was like, hey, what happened to the blog? And he's like, oh, we just started getting comments from people we don't know. Like, oh, that's a lovely family. And like, oh, that's sweet. Oh, I live by there. You know, stuff like that. Like, they're just like, we got to take all this off. And so that scared the crap out of me. And like, my brother's not like trying to be this is like before Facebook was a huge thing. So it's not like,
Right.
you know, so they're like, kids, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So I have this like, my wife will post a few things here and there, but like, it's not, we try to leave her off the internet. And so it kind of bleeds into this, the stand up a little bit. Cause she is a person and she doesn't know that I'm making fun of whatever. So
Yeah.
she doesn't have like permission. I don't know. It feels like, and I know I'm probably the only one who thinks like this, but like she hasn't, given consent for me to talk to her in front of strangers in Iowa. Like
Right. Yeah.
like Greta in her Iowa, she's like, nah, I don't want people but knowing me about in Iowa. You know what I mean? So I have a few things about her, but it's mainly real generic kid stuff. It's not very specific.
Oh, sure.
It's so stupid, and I'm sure it's my own neuroses, but like the last thing I heard a interview with Mark Maron and John C. Reilly. Did you guys hear that? WTF?
No.
It was a long time ago.
Yes. The John C. Reilly WTF.
Yeah, and
I did, because John C. Reilly doesn't really do interviews, and he like laid that out in the beginning almost.
Yeah,
right?
Mark was like, "You have your kids?" And he goes, "How old are your kids?" And he goes, "Old enough where they don't have permission to give me to have their private lives." You know what I mean? And it was cold, and it was like it ruined the interview. Like it was a moment. Oh, Mark stepped over. I didn't realize the line was up to his feet already. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Like we don't talk about that because they are private children. They are not, they're not adults.
Yeah.
And so I was like, at first I was like, fuck you, John C. Reilly. But then I was like, oh, I get that now. Like people are insane. And I don't know all of these people well enough. You know what I mean? Like every one of my Facebook friends used to be like, yeah, they could crash at my place. Now I'm at like so many friends where I wouldn't even let most of them crash in my house. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
So why do I want them to see my adorable kid? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Right.
Yeah. No, that's totally understandable. We're doing a similar thing. We're not avoiding it, but we're not doing it on purpose. I think that's just like that's just our stance right now. Is we're not taking Christmas photos and like covering up her face or anything like that, but we're also not posting the first time that she bit down on the metal handle of the freezer and it made Dad shit his pants because he hates that sound. You know,
Yeah.
like grinding teeth against that metal bar is like,
Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from too, because I had a very similar situation with like, so we're on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, and I run Instagram, and I put a picture of my son like behind the boat like steering wheel, and it was like this wide angle lens, and it looked kind of cool, and I'm just like, that's a pretty cool photo, and I threw it on Instagram, and then like some weird older dude liked the photo, and then it brought out feelings that I wasn't ready for. All of a sudden I'm just like, why the fuck are you liking my kid's picture? You know, like, and it's like, I want
you put it out there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
right.
You
No,
put it out on an open account. You know
yes,
what I mean?
no, I totally did. And and I'm not mad at him for it. It was just this like moment of like where it hits you. You're just like, who's this guy and why is he liking my kid's pic? And then you're just like, oh, because I put it out there and I was hoping people would like my photos, I guess. So shit, I accomplished my goal, and that's not what
I feel bad about it.
Right. But that was kind of like, I think that's the only one I've ever put on Instagram of him, and I'm just like, well, I'm not going to get rid of it because he's little in this photo, and a couple of years from now he won't look like that anymore anyways. So you know,
right.
But
yeah, especially as they grow up.
Fingers
Yeah,
crossed,
they really
anyway.
change.
but I was just but I was just curious because like he says so much stuff that if I like wrote it down, I could probably do like a whole set on just stories that he's told me. Like this, because you're a Disney fan, have you seen the new Luca movie?
Yeah.
So I saw Josh, you've seen that too, haven't you? Yeah. So
for sure.
So
Pixar, baby, I'm all in. I'm wearing a fucking Buzz Lightyear
there you
shirt
go.
right
But we watched that Luca movie together, and for anybody that's listening, in the movie, Luca is like a sea monster. It's no spoiler, it's in the trailers or whatever. And when they get out of water, they become like human form, and as soon as they get wet, they go back. And my son like wanted to take a shower yesterday. He's like I over baths, I guess. He's like, I want to take a shower with Dad. Like, okay, dude, let's take a shower then. And me and him hop in the shower, and then like after it's all done, he's like, next time I want it to be me, you, and mommy. And mommy's like, no, we're not gonna shower together. Like, mommy's different than you and daddy. And he just gets wide-eyed and goes, you change colors?
That is the most innocent thing I've ever heard.
So then then it was a whole like, no, there's different parts or whatever, and just like, the things that kids pick up from movies, you just you get caught off guard.
If anyone's being mean on a, like, we were watching Finding Nemo in the car, you know, the part where the sharks turn and start chasing Nemo or Marlin, and my daughter just starts, it's like midnight, we're driving, and she's just yelling, be nice, be nice, be nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is so good.
Kids, man, I love it. I love being a dad. I never thought I would, like, not never, but I didn't. I always thought like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, me too, man.
It came on fast and still going fast. It's great. I love it.
Yep.
Now it's not weird to have all those Disney posters in my basement.
So there you go.
Now, like I've had those since like right after college. So and now it's like it's okay. Like people are like less weird. You know? It's weird to have a Lion King right next to a Wilco poster, but it makes more sense now.
Oh, that's great. Well, I don't want to wrap with quite yet. We'll wrap soon, but you're a producer of some sorts, aren't you?
Yes.
And
I produce whatever you want me to produce. Okay? I produce it all. No, I produce the Snow Jam Comedy Festival. I was actually just named the president, which means nothing. Just means I get to bang the gavel at the beginning of the meeting.
There you go.
We run a comedy festival in Sioux Falls called the Snow Jam Festival. We bring 30 comics from all over the world to Sioux Falls during the worst
Nice.
time. Right. So January, people that have never been to the Midwest were like, "Hey, come hang out in Sioux Falls. Buy a jacket and then come hang
Right.
out."
Is that part of the invitation? It says buy a jacket on it.
Yeah, bring a jacket. And so we bring great people to the best place in the world at the worst time.
Nice.
And then what we do is we put on shows to raise money for the Special Olympics of South Dakota.
Nice.
So it's just a giant party fundraiser.
Nice.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
And you're in control of all of it. Like, I mean, are you
There's
guys
5
filming
of
it
us,
and everything, or
3 years ago, a while ago. Time is
Forgetting
relative,
time.
man. I don't know. When I had more hair, we started it.
We can all relate.
It was me, Timmy Williams from The Whitest Kids You Know, and then Dan Bublitz Jr. from Dry Bar. He just filmed a Dry Bar special. We're all kind of based here, and we were like, it'd be cool to have a fundraiser comedy festival, bring people. And it started as a joke. It was basically a joke, and I was
way.
asked to help out when we were like, yeah, let's do it. And so this year is kind of our big year because we're converting the festival itself to its own nonprofit, which will give us a lot more capability to do a lot more fundraising things. And then we're bringing in not one. Oh, I can't announce this yet.
Oh, okay.
We're bringing in not one
Hit
but
the
two
horn.
headliners. Yeah, Mary Mack from Minneapolis. She's also on Hulu Solar Opposites.
Oh,
she had an amazing Conan. She was on Last Comic Standing. She's super funny.
Nice.
And then her husband, Tim Harmstead, who also had a Harmstead, that also had a Dry Bar comedy special. And so it's kind of a big get. Like they're pretty happening, and we're getting them as a pair, which is cool. So there's going to be one night where both of them are in Sioux Falls telling jokes to raise money for the Special Olympics. So
nice.
Very cool.
And they do their own sets, or are they a comedy duo?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
Sorry.
They're both really funny comedians by themselves. So I assume that's what's going to happen. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yeah.
That's how you sell tickets right there. That's a producer.
It's gonna be a good time. So yeah, we like last year we did digitally. We kind of just did like a best of festival. So all the comedians that had been on the festival, we kind of did like a digital festival. And then the year before that, we had Sean Jordan, who was on All Fantasy Everything. Do you guys know that podcast at all?
No, but no plug.
He's a Sioux Falls native, and they don't need our plug.
Especially on this podcast.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, it's a great podcast, and I listen, but he's from Sioux Falls originally, so he got to headline Sioux Falls Festival. It's kind of special. So
nice.
And then before that, we had Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall.
Oh yeah, nice.
Good stuff.
And then that was like that was the first year we did the headliners. Usually it was just like comics that are, like me. So
sure.
Unknown.
Dude, your shit's funny. Don't
That's fine.
Isn't that sort of the stuff about
it?
Yes, and I think that's all comics, right? Like, I mean, even me and Tim, we've talked about it on our on this podcast several times, where we're just like, we have that like imposter syndrome, that self like, Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
Oh,
I think I'm
imposter
kind of funny,
syndrome
but
is hard. It is a
yeah,
hard thing to deal with
it's the
constantly.
worst.
Yeah.
Tim don't have it so bad. I got it bad. But Tim has it with fishing though, and that's the problem. That's what he brings to this podcast, and he's just like he's so good at it, and he's more timid about it. And then me, I have
Timid.
this.
That's good. That's a good pun.
There you go.
Oh,
Timid.
I made a pun. What'd I do?
Timid.
Timid.
My name is Tim.
Oh,
Timid. Tim.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and the
nice.
id is part of the self-doubt part in psychology.
Right.
Mm,
Tim id.
Jeez Louise.
I like that.
Boom. College
Just-
educated, baby.
No,
I went to
I
college
think
for
that one
6
came
years.
straight up out of the improv
Yeah.
education there.
Well, like towards the beginning of our when we started talking here, you were kind of talking about Nathan. That is, you were talking about like how a lot of people you'll have out there saying this and that about how you start in comedy, and like that's you just go out there and start, and like that's what I was feeling about like fishing. It's like a lot of the same stuff, and
Yeah.
I feel like an imposter trying to tell people how to do stuff sometimes because there's so many people that are just like, here's the best bait, here's the best techniques, and it's like there's so much more to it. That's not how it works. The fish
Yeah.
are temperamental just like people are. It's like trying to tell people like this is how you pick up a chick at the bar. I just go in and I say this. Sure, maybe it worked for you because you're 6'5" and you're gorgeous. And you picked up that lady
Yeah.
no problem. If I go in and say like, "Hey, what's the weather like?" She's like, "Get the fuck away from me, fatty!" Like, it's it doesn't work the same for everybody, and
Yeah.
that's just so sometimes when you're trying to tell people how like this is how I would do it, I always feel like it's all in the English, and then sometimes later I'm just like, well, I listen back to it and I'm just like, I don't know, is any of that right? I mean, it worked for me once. Does anybody buy what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, like you can't. It's the same with fishing and comedy. Like you can't just go buy the best microphone or the best fishing rod and start
Mhm.
catching more fish.
Very true. Yes.
Right.
Right? You
Yep.
can't.
Mhm.
You can buy your way onto a better boat. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
like
You could buy your way onto a better stage.
yeah.
Sure.
You can buy
Doesn't
your
mean
way.
you're gonna nail it.
Yeah, but when a time comes, you got to reel it in.
Very, very true. Yes.
So I mean, I do remember, I do think of fishing fondly, but it's never my thing. I don't like touching things.
Yeah, speaking of
And like,
touching things, you made me nervous when you started saying like, yeah, the reason I don't really like fishing is my uncle, and I'm like, oh, where's this going?
Whoa.
we're gonna have
Hold
to do
on.
it. We're gonna
Pump
have
the
to do it.
brakes. We're gonna have to wrap up the podcast there. Nathan, please plug anything you want to our 10 listeners. We're gonna wrap up the Real AFTV podcast. And by the way, there was a lot of video going on this one. We're not ready to launch the video yet. We have some video configurations to do. So you can go over to patreon.com/realaftv, REEALFTV. I think I put too many E's in there.
Yeah.
But go to patreon.com/realaftv, real with 2 E's.
Dope as hell.
Yeah, we do. We got a Patreon. We have one subscriber. But anyways, if you go over there, that is where the video version is. It is locked behind the $1 paywall. That's it, guys. You will be able to see this on Patreon for $1. Sorry, Nate, I'm not using you as a cash grab. I promise. It's just that we can't figure out the video on like totally configured yet. So it works, but there's more glitches in it than I would like. What's that?
Everyone's got the price, and mine's surprisingly cheap. So cash grab is fine. I'll take 10% of that one Patreon.
Sounds good.
I've got some plug.
Yes, please.
Check out my website, nathanhults.com, as NATHANHULTS.com. And my social medias are all Nathan Hults. Same. And then check out the Town Cry podcast. It's a funny podcast with a lot of heart. So or don't. Just come see me at a show sometime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
been
and
great
check out
having
the
you on.
Snow Jam Comedy Festival. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jam
Of course, we
Comedy
talked
Festival.
about Snow Jam. Definitely. Do you have
Come
dates
hang
for it
out.
yet?
Yeah, it's January 19th through the 22nd.
Very nice. That is the dead heat of
Yeah.
winter. It's no
Yeah, we
joke.
wasn't fucking around. Not fucking around. We come to the
You're
best
bringing
place
people
in the
not
world
from the Midwest
in
to
the
South
worst
Dakota.
time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking
January.
funny by itself, dude.
Your invitation comes.
Started as a joke.
Your invitation comes with a YouTube link to what a snowdrift is.